Our contestants are hopeful for a tranquil and drama-free week following Braden's emotional outburst over the record-breaking kiss date from episode 2. However, it seems that fate has different plans. The latest episode of The Bachelorette Season 20 Episode 3 proved to be a critical and dramatic turning point for Charity as she sought clarity with some of the men. What happened in The Bachelorette Season 20 Episode 3? By the end of the show, after going on 2 one-on-one dates and a group date, Charity had made the difficult decision to eliminate 4 more men, reducing the remaining contenders to just 10. In tonight's episode of The Bachelorette, our lovely contender Barbie was in search of her own Ken. However, she first had to navigate through some challenging situations presented by certain individuals. Both Baden and the other contestants displayed signs of jealousy towards Barbie, leading her to leave her own party prematurely due to the overwhelming drama. Her return was prompted by her firm belief that her future husband could be among these gentlemen. Charity embarked on a group date with all the remaining contenders tonight. Additionally, she planned a one-on-one date with Braden in order to further explore their connection despite the tension caused by Braden's actions in the house. Charity chose to overlook it because she believed there was potential between them. Unfortunately, Braden struggled with the concept of sharing Charity's affections and took his displeasure too far by confronting other suitors who expressed interest in kissing her, considering they had only just met each other. His behavior nearly led him to leave before his one-on-one date. This puzzling decision made by Charity only heightened confusion among the other men who speculated about Braden's fate after departing for his date. They were convinced that he would not return home following this encounter and assumed Charity would send him packing once she had better insight into his character. The collective belief among them was that his jealousy and immaturity might inevitably dawn upon Charity, leading her to recognize that he wasn't the ideal match. Their conviction urging his departure grew stronger once they learned of his indulgence in a helicopter ride with Charity while the rest were left to endure a sweltering van ride to the beach. Nonetheless, it turned out that Charity herself derived immense pleasure from their intimate moment together. She decided to take Braden on a visit to the baseball stadium, knowing it held significance for him as his home team and roused cherished memories of attending matches. Braden candidly admitted that he used to engage in catch sessions with his father until one unfortunate incident wherein his dad inadvertently broke Braden's nose by hurling a ball toward him. Subsequently, Braden's father forsook playing catch altogether out of constant apprehension about inflicting injury upon Braden. Unfortunately, during their date, Braden's apprehensions proved valid as he accidentally struck Charity in the face with the ball during their catching session. Fortunately, she emerged unharmed, however. This mishap deeply traumatized Braden. Aside from this incident, though, their date unfolded seamlessly. Both Braden and Charity reveled in each other's company through heartfelt embraces and tender kisses in this state of vulnerability. Braden summoned up enough courage to disclose his uncertainties about continuing on with appearing on the show. He confessed that he wasn't accustomed to dating someone who simultaneously juggled relationships with multiple other individuals within this particular context. Rather than imposing any constraints upon Charity regarding other dates or physical intimacy with fellow contestants under threat of leaving her behind, he openly expressed his personal ambivalence about whether this unique dating experience genuinely resonated with his own aspirations and preferences. Adding to his reservations, Braden revealed to Charity that he had endured the heartbreak of being cheated on in a past relationship, where his girlfriend betrayed him, only to continue masking her deceit as if it never transpired. This carried significant ramifications, rendering sharing a potential partner a daunting prospect for Braden due to the lingering trust issues that remained with him. Braden felt insecure when he thought about Charity developing a connection with other guys. This is why he considered leaving. However, he hasn't made that decision yet. However, Braden believes that Charity is worth fighting for. And ultimately, she just wants him to show his commitment to their relationship toward the end of their date. Charity gave Braden a rose, which he gratefully accepted. Both of them felt content with where they stood at that moment. Following this, Charity went on a group date with the other guys to not only get to know them better but also live out her Barbie fantasy. The date took place at Barbie Fantasyland, where the guys dressed up as Ken dolls and prepared for a concert performance dedicated to Charity and her friends. The guests included former Bachelorette JoJo and her husband, as well as a crowd of strangers. It was a competition among the Ken dolls, who put effort into their performances in hopes of being crowned the winner. While some of them believed they already embodied the essence of Ken and did not need to do much more, this led to one contestant almost losing until Caleb B blew everyone away with his incredible voice. This wake-up call prompted Sean to step up his game. He even performed shirtless on stage and showed off his impressive six-pack abs. Charity appreciated Sean's willingness to take risks and chose him for some alone time during the group date. However, Aaron S., feeling jealous that he wasn't chosen, and proclaimed himself as a real man. He expressed his opinion that Sean was only suitable for casual dates due to his skills in fishing, hunting, and demonstrating masculinity. This point of view embodied characteristics of toxic masculinity. Aaron S. strongly disliked it when Sean returned to the house singing and went so far as to label him as a self-centered and privileged individual. This criticism occurred even before the incident took place. Aaron questioned whether Sean was an only child because of his behavior, implying that he was acting entitled. When Charity arrived and expressed her desire to speak with everyone, Aaron advised Sean to show humility by allowing others a chance first. However, Sean claimed he needed to finish their previous conversation, which resulted in the other guys becoming upset with him. Their disdain stemmed from feeling that Sean wasn't giving them enough time with Charity, potentially jeopardizing their chances of remaining on the show since they had not spoken to her since last Tuesday. They attributed blame to Sean for this situation. Interestingly enough, Sean did not feel guilty or bothered by this animosity. Instead, he dismissed it as mere jealousy or hatred from the other contestants. His lack of remorse could be partially attributed to having kissed Charity during their time together. This led him to believe he had established a strong connection with her, although it turned out he wasn't the last person she kissed that evening. Additionally, despite his expectations, Sean did not receive an exclusive one-on-one date with Charity. This honor went instead to Warwick. Initially regarded as unassuming by most of the other contestants, Warwick's selection for a private date with Charity caused speculation among them that perhaps the quiet guy had potential as a frontrunner despite their initial dismissal of him. The subsequent realization that they had misjudged Warwick further fueled their surprise and disappointment when his true reserved nature showed during their date at an amusement park, where they were given exclusive access, resulting in a limited conversation between him and Charity and ultimately making for an underwhelming experience. It became evident that there was no meaningful connection between them at all as soon as they went on their lackluster date together, an evening where Charity decided against offering him a rose, resulting in his elimination from the show. Interestingly, Warwick found solace in going home as he had actually fallen asleep during the car ride back. The amusement park visit certainly managed to tire him out quite a bit. Sometime later, Brayden made a regrettable error by confiding in one of his male rivals, expressing his reservations about dating someone who was involved with numerous individuals simultaneously in that moment of vulnerability. He believed he was seeking support from a friend, completely unaware that this person would later use this information against him. Despite this setback, Brayden did inform Charity about his possible incompatibility with the show. He conveyed his fondness for her and their undeniable chemistry, but held doubts about continuing and potentially falling in love with her if she were to develop feelings for someone else as well. Prior to the rose ceremony, Brayden did get an opportunity to spend some time alone with Charity, where he shared his aspirations of introducing her to his family due to how amazing she is in his eyes, a sentiment partly influenced by their joint appearance on Hometown together before Aaron B., another competitor, intervened with unsettling news. Citing concern for Charity's well-being and insisting that he had her best interests at heart, Aaron B. revealed what Brayden had disclosed earlier, twisting it into an accusation that Brayden was motivated by ulterior reasons for remaining on the show and disrespecting Charity behind her back by stating that he did not wish to be involved with someone who had dated 20 contestants previously. In contrast, Aaron B.'s reinterpretation of Brayden's comments was far from accurate and tainted Charity's perception of him. She began doubting whether giving him a rose was indeed justified, even contemplating taking it back when she confronted him directly, but eventually deciding against it as their conversation progressed amiably. Ironically though, during their discussion, Brayden subtly voiced reservations regarding Aaron B. Several individuals were actually supporting Brayden in this matter. There was no necessity to cause agitation toward Charity immediately prior to a rose ceremony due to her inability to converse with all the gentlemen involved. Individuals will now depart with an opportunity to get acquainted with her. These circumstances led some individuals to point fingers at Aaron B. as responsible for this outcome. Why did he feel compelled to bring up Brayden? Aaron B. contended that his actions were purely aimed at protecting Charity. However, it is conceivable that his actions were more self-serving rather than being truly concerned about her welfare. At the subsequent rose ceremony, Charity made her choices. She bestowed a rose upon Aaron B. as a token of appreciation for his loyalty in disclosing Brayden's statements. Her final rose was given to Tanner. However, she also made up her mind regarding Brayden. She had become weary of waiting for him to make progress within the process and hence offered him one final chance. This decision could potentially prove to be misguided, as the preview for next week hinted at Brayden displaying signs of immaturity.